Imagine being 23 years old and already standing shoulder to shoulder with one of the all-time greats. That's where Jahmyr Gibbs is tonight. 47 career touchdowns before his 24th birthday, tying him with Barry Sanders for the most in NFL history at that age. Pause on that for a second. Barry Sanders, the man whose name is shorthand for elusive brilliance, whose every spin and cut rewrites what a running back can be. Gibbs didn't just approach that company, he joined it. And he did it on a night when Detroit needed him to be more than a highlight reel. They needed him to finish the game. This was not a gentle unveiling, it was a statement. The Lions ripped open the Cowboys in primetime 44-30, and Gibbs had 3 rushing touchdowns. He didn't dominate with gaudy rushing totals, 12 carries for 43 yards, but he dominated where it counts, in the red zone and in the moments that decide games. He mixed power with precision and paired his runs with 7 catches for 77 yards, reminding everyone he's as dangerous on 3rd and short as he is on 3rd and 30. The stat line reads like efficiency with a side of inevitability. That's what real finishers do. Let's unpack why this matters. First, the record itself is huge because it measures more than raw output. It measures early career impact. Scoring 47 touchdowns before you're 24 means you've been the one to close drives, to be trusted in goal line chaos, to be the player coaches dial for when the margin is the smallest. Barry Sanders did that in a different era with a different offense. But the end result is the same. Both men habitually turned opportunities into points. Gibbs isn't a flash in the pan. He's become a trusted closer, and that trait is rarer than speed or agility. Second, look at the mix of his production. He scored 3 times on the ground and still added nearly 80 yards as a receiver. That dual threat element matters in modern offenses. It stretches boxes, forces safeties into decisions, and creates matchup problems for linebackers who suddenly have to cover a weapon out of the backfield. The Lions aren't just feeding him because he's fun to watch. They're scheming him into spots that break coverage windows open. When Jared Goff can rely on a back who's equally lethal catching a swing pass or finishing a power run, the whole offense breathes easier. We also have to talk about context. This wasn't a cupcake scoreboard padding night. The Cowboys were in it. Dallas hung around and even cut the lead to 30-27. That's where composure matters. A linebacker tackle here, a broken containment there, and this game flips. Instead, Gibbs answered in the 4th quarter. The 13-yard touchdown with 2:19 left, and sealed it. Late-game execution is a currency of championship teams, and Gibbs is cashing checks when the bank is closed. Now, the football brain part of it, don't let the relatively modest rushing yardage fool you about plan or power. Gibbs reads blocks with a patience that looks like timing and explodes with decisiveness. He knows the difference between a hole that will widen and a wall that must be bounced outside. His pad level and balance allow him to fight forward for yards after contact. His change of direction makes defenders miss in confined spaces. Those are skills that age well. Speed can be a flash. Footwork and instincts become scar tissue that you deposit over a career. Gibbs is building that bank. There's also the psychological ripple. Growing up in Detroit, watching the city buzz when a homegrown talent takes over, fans get a different kind of hope, the kind that's not tethered to one game. When Barry Sanders played, Detroit folded around him like a religion. Jahmyr isn't Barry, no one needs him to be, but tying that record places him in the city's lineage of transcendent athletes. It gives the locker room a very practical advantage, a running back opponents fear to stop because he both punishes and stretches. That fear changes play calling, defenses react, and play calling space opens for the passing game. It's dominoes. Let's be honest about projection. Statistics that early in a career are predictive, but not destiny. Injuries, scheme changes, and team construction matter. Still, when you see a young player repeatedly turn opportunities into points, especially touchdowns, which are harder to manufacture than yards, you're looking at a high floor, high ceiling asset. Gibbs is not just window dressing. He's a pillar. Whether he reaches Hall of Fame territory is foggy. That's a long road, but he's stacking the kinds of achievements that accelerate that conversation. There's a narrative element that's almost cinematic. Jahmyr Gibbs now sits next to Barry Sanders in a rare statistical space. Barry came to games like a force of nature. People still talk about his instincts the way others talk about weather patterns, unpredictable and unavoidable. Gibbs' path is different. He's a modern back, one who catches, blocks, and hits those short yardage scores with surgical force. The statistical overlap draws comparison, but the bigger takeaway is that Detroit has carved out a present-day star who will be the storylines for weeks and seasons to come. What does this mean for the Lions? It's simple. Keep feeding him when the game tightens, keep designing looks that reward his versatility, and protect him with a line that can hold at the goal line. The offense is built around one truth right now. When Gibbs gets the ball in scoring area, good things happen. Defenses have to respect that, and respecting that opens lanes for Jared Goff and the receivers. That's championship math. And for the rest of the league, start making adjustments. Game plans that treated Detroit as primarily a passing threat must be rewritten with the knowledge that there's a closer ready to finish every drive. Linebackers have to account for slip screens. Safeties have to cheat down just a hair sooner. Coaches must accept that play action off genuine run threat becomes harder to defend. Gibbs' presence demands strategic respect, which in turn creates the mismatches that all great offenses need. Finally, let's sit with the human picture. A young man, likely exhausted, walking off the field with teammates cheering, Barry Sanders in the stands as a living monument to excellence. That's a moment that will replay in highlight packages and in the private rooms where coaches plan for decades. It's not a career-defining moment yet. That chapter is still being written, but it's a chapter marker. It says, we are witnessing something that matters. So here's the memory you take to bed tonight. Jahmyr Gibbs scored 3 touchdowns, tied a record held by a legend, and didn't let the city down when it needed him most. He didn't become Barry Sanders tonight. He honored a name by adding his own. The comparison is loud because achievement is loud, but the truth is quieter and more thrilling. He's not chasing history, he's writing it. Jahmyr Gibbs stole Thursday night in Detroit, 3 touchdowns, 120 scrimmage yards, and a game-winning flourish that iced a 44-30 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. The Lions left no doubt this was their night. Reuters Gibbs' 3 scores on a primetime stage weren't just clutch, they were historic. With Thursday's performance, he reached 47 career touchdowns, tying Barry Sanders for the most TDs by any player before turning 4. That's elite company, and for a 23-year-old running back, it's a milestone that screams, the future is already here. NBC Sports numbers aside, this game showed every reason Detroit spent the pick on Gibbs. He gashed the Cowboys in both phases, grinding it on the ground and serving as a weapon in the passing game, 7 catches for 77 yards, the kind of full-package production that forces defenses to alter game plans. He finished with 3 rushing TDs and made plays everywhere the Lions needed him to place. DetroitLions.com. Context matters. Jared Goff managed the offense efficiently. Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown made big plays, and Detroit's defense created timely pressure and turnovers that flipped momentum. But in tight games, you still need a finisher. And tonight that finisher was Gibbs. His late 13-yard touchdown with 2:19 left sealed the win and reinforced the narrative that Detroit's offseason investment is paying off in real time. ESPN.com. We should be honest about what this means long term. Tying Barry Sanders isn't just trivia. It's a historical benchmark that frames Gibbs' career arc. Sanders is a measuring stick for greatness in Detroit. Gibbs matching that early career production puts pressure on everyone to watch closely because he's on pace to surpass records that stood for generations. This isn't hype. It's history in progress. ClutchPoints.com. Tonight's headline is simple. Jahmyr Gibbs didn't just win a game. He announced himself on the league's biggest stage and wrote his name next to a legend. If you loved Detroit's offense before, you'll pay attention now. If you doubted the pick, that doubt just got a lot quieter. Either way, expect Gibbs' name to be in every postseason conversation from here on out.